I want to start out by thanking all the fans who came out tonight and the students. Come out Saturday, 2 p.m. We need you. We got Alabama next. But, man, what a home court advantage we had tonight. There were situations where I couldn't hear in the huddles. I couldn't hear talking to our guys on the bench. So that's fantastic. I really appreciate the students. Proud of my team. I was concerned. After Ohio State, we haven't lost like that in a long time. And when you lose like that, you're going to respond. Old Miss, we responded at Syracuse. Can you respond again? And to watch them come out and play the way they did in the first 8 minutes and really stymie Maryland, holding Maryland to 30 is amazing because they have so many good players and they're so well coached. And Cowan is one of the best finishers I've ever seen. I've watched so much film of him over the last few days. And every game, as soon as it got to 4 or 6, it's almost like Anthony Cowan time. He's a great closer and a great player. But our guys did a great job. They responded. When it got to 4, they responded. Lamar Stevens made big shots. Myrion Jones, he definitely learned from Ole Miss, took care of the basketball, made good shots, 6 assists, 1 turnover. I thought Brock gave us good energy, good minutes. I thought when you get Mike and Lamar playing as well as they did, we're going to be a tough team to beat. This was a big step for us in part of the mental conditioning aspect.
Pat, you won a lot of different stat categories, but 2 that you lost are 2 typically that indicate success, rebounding and free throw attempts. Add that to the fact that you only had 1 guy shoot above 50% from the line. What were some of the factors in overcoming those stats?
We can't talk about the positive stats first. We're going right to negative. We just won, aren't we? What's our record? 8-2. We are 8-2, right? Look, we knew they were a great rebounding team. We knew we had to do a good job. We need to gang rebound. Lamar and Mike, double doubles, but they probably could have had 4 or 5 more. And they need help. Brock's got to get in there, and Dred's got to get in there, and I only gave Seth Lundy a few minutes tonight, but we have to do a better job rebounding. And then I can't put my finger on the free throw situation. Just not sure. We'll get back to you on that one. I'll watch film.
Pat, you've mentioned time and again that you want to play Penn State basketball, and tonight you did that for what I thought was 40 minutes against the team or the country's number 4 team. How were you able to set that tone and play within yourselves?
I think it starts with our leadership council. I thought they did a fantastic job on Sunday and Monday in practice specifically, and I thought practice really was intense, and they made it intense. Typically, I only want to go 75 to 90, and I pick and choose how hard it's going to be. And they made it tough. They made it physical. We learned from Ohio State. We learned how tough and physical you need to be in the Big Ten to find success, and they did that. And they knew, we had to defend and rebound. We did a great job of that in the first half. Obviously, the second half, they beat us 39-36. So we'll learn from that. I would say, I appreciate you saying 40 minutes. I'm going to say about 36. So we have 4 minutes to go to be that elite team that we want to be.
Pat, you created 13 turnovers in the first half. How important was that, given what you were coming off of, to set that defensive tone?
Yeah, Mark, I agree with you. Look, our defense was it was here and there, right, on Saturday. It was sometimes really good and sometimes really bad. And the fact that they committed and bought into the game plan and did a much better job. And, we may have confused Maryland a little bit here and there to be able to get some of those steals. But the guys really bought in. They knew what they were going to run and who they were going to go to, and were able to get some really good breakouts. And then you start to think when you're the opponent, you start to think when you're turning the ball over like that, and you're a little not as aggressive. So that was pivotal in the first half to have those.
And can you address your offensive efficiency, the number of assists to field goals? In the first half, it was really high. It was high throughout the game. But how important is that to have the balanced offense that I think you kind of need?
Yeah, look, I want ball movement. I want player movement. Trust me, I don't want ISOs. We've been there, we've done that, and that hasn't been successful for us. I think our assists went down a little bit. We really weren't making shots. Miles wasn't making shots. He made a couple. It's important that we get to 7 or 8 threes a game because we're going to get stops. But But we got to continue to share the ball. When we share the ball, man, we're tough to defend.
Pat, I asked you last week about, these 2 early Big Ten games, and you mentioned they'd be a litmus test for you guys. So what did you learn about your team, and, how would you say they fared in this test?
Yeah, I thought the way they responded, it's all about response, right? Especially after Ohio State, the way they beat us. Are you going to respond with toughness? Because you can't let one loss lead to 2, right? You can't let Ohio State beat you twice. And obviously, we don't want to look back, but last year it snowballed on us. 1 led to 2, 2 led to 3. I think we're more mental conditioned this year with our veterans and our leaders to be able to say, we're drawing the line in the sand. We're not letting this happen anymore. So, obviously, Ohio State, Maryland, 2 really good teams, 2 top 5 teams. We'll watch the film. We'll break it down, see where we can improve.
MJ only had 1 turnover, 6 assists. We talked about him kind of getting acclimated to playing in the Big Ten yesterday or whenever it was.
Yeah, at the presser, yep.
Why do you think that he was able to make a pretty quick turnaround just in terms of his comfortability in a situation like that?
You know what? I think the word I'm going to use is adaptability. I think MJ was able to adapt. He recognized after that Ohio State game that he was not pleased. He went and got an extra lift on his own. So he understands, like, this, I know what I need to do now. And he did that. He learned from Ohio State. He learned from how tough and physical that game was. And he came out today, and I thought he played with great confidence. He missed a couple chippies, a couple floaters that he typically makes, a 3 that he typically makes. But he played with incredible confidence. And I thought his defense was much better tonight than it was on Saturday.
Coach, so Coach Turgeon kind of talked about Isaiah and how he's kind of been used as Josh Reeves even in some offensive sets. Can you just talk about that comparison a little bit and Isaiah's his improvement? Yeah,
the difference between Brock and Josh is Brock is a scorer. I think Josh was more of a facilitator, and Josh was a great defender who's going to get a lot of steals. Now, Brock, he had 3 steals, and he played Cowan for half the game. So he did a really good job, but he's more offensive-minded. And, man, what a spark he gives us off the bench with his speed and his athleticism and his toughness and his ability to guard, but also get us critical baskets.
Pat, what is the significance of getting this win right now at this time of the year? Rose mentioned the wins over the number 4 teams before. Those were later on. Maybe the record wasn't where it needed to be. This is a win that when you talk about climb on and getting your fans excited, what does this do on December 10th to get people going in the right direction and believe in this team for this season?
Yeah, Corey, it's a good point. If you look at us and the way we've played, and with our record now being 8-2 and knocking off a top 5 team, we already had some buzz on campus. We had good wins, Georgetown, Syracuse, Wake Forest. We've had some good wins. I'm going to throw Bucknell and Yale in there. They're really good teams. So I think there's going to be energy. There's going to be excitement around this program for people to come out. You got to come out Saturday, 2 p.m. Alabama. That's a big game as well. They're all big games. But I think this game could help us in March. It's not going to punch our ticket, but it's definitely going to help us where we're trying to go.
Pat, you just spoke briefly about Isaiah earlier. There seemed to be a couple times in the game, especially in the second half, where Maryland pulled really close, and it seemed as if the momentum was in their favor, and he made a couple of big plays, the 3-pointer and the steal and the dunk.
Steal, yeah.
Yeah, can you just take it through what exactly is so huge about those plays, and then going forward, how your team was able to take that momentum?
You know what? Momentum's so important, and I think this program and this team has the momentum, and we got to keep that momentum. And in games, I'm thinking about how do we shift it 54-50? How do we shift momentum? What play can we run or execute, or what defense can we do to confuse them, or at least maybe turn them over, or make a rush shot or shot clock violation on the other end to swing the momentum back to us? Look, Isaiah Brockington is not going to shoot that 3 unless he knows that the head coach has the ultimate confidence in him. He puts the work in. He lives in the gym. I know his percentage right now overall isn't great, but he knows a 1-2 step jumper open, that's a good shot for us, especially if Mike and Lamar are going to go and try to offensive rebound. The steal was big. Because I don't really teach jamming the rebounder, but I think his intuition or his instincts really stepped up there. That was a big basket.
Coach Miles did a little bit better job shooting the ball tonight. You talk about momentum and seeing the ball go through the net. What was his impact like tonight, even though he may still kind of be needing more from the scoring end or from the shooting end?
Yeah, I thought Miles was great. I thought he played aggressive. Obviously, I'm not pleased with the one shot at the end, but time and score, he's playing to win. You got to love his swagger, and he's feeling that good. Okay, but future, let's dribble the ball out and take the time off the clock. But it was so good to see him get off to an early start the way he did. I thought he made really good plays. I thought his defense was good. We need Miles Dredd. We need Miles Dredd. Miles Dredd really spaces the floor for Lamar and Mike, and he's such a threat out there.
We're going to go with Nate, last one, unless anyone else has anything pertinent.
Mike finished with 4 blocks, but it seemed like his rim protecting influence was pretty substantial throughout the game. Can you kind of just touch on that?
Yeah, again, when Mike is engaged, he is definitely one of the best bigs in the Big Ten, if not the country, especially defensively. He did a nice job for the most part on his wall-ups and really distracted the Maryland guards or players to get easy looks. And he needs to play that way. And it's a work in progress. He's getting better, but he has room. This is crazy. He still has room for growth in his ball screen defense, low post defense. Thanks, everybody.